Most people have never heard of Africa's richest medieval city, but what archaeologists are uncovering there could change how we understand the entire continent's history. Over 600 years ago, this desert empire simply vanished. No invasion, no earthquake, just gone. By the end of this video, you'll understand why this discovery could rewrite North African history and why one legendary spirit might have been warning us all along. Welcome to Nations of the World, the series where we explore the world one nation at a time. I'm about to show you evidence that challenges everything historians believed about medieval Africa. Today, archaeologists working near the Moroccan town of Rissani continue uncovering evidence of this lost civilization, workshops, trading quarters, and the remains of what was once the gateway between medieval Africa and the world. This is Sigil Massa, and its story will blow your mind. Now, let's pause here for a moment. Why does a city that thrived for centuries suddenly disappear? And why are we only just beginning to uncover its secrets now? The answers lie not only in ruins, but also in trade routes, dynasties, and even legends. Picture this: a city so wealthy that gold dust literally filled its markets like flour in a bakery. Ibn Battuta, history's greatest traveler who had seen the Mongol courts and the spice ports of Indonesia, called Sigil Massa the most dangerous and wonderful place on earth. But here's what's crazy. This wasn't some coastal trading port. This was deep in the Sahara Desert, in a land the locals call Al-Maghrib, which means the West, the place where the sun sets. The name Morocco itself is believed to come from the city of Marrakesh. The Amazigh people, Morocco's indigenous inhabitants, had built a desert Manhattan. They controlled trade routes worth more than the GDP of medieval Europe combined, moving 40 tons of gold annually through the Sahara. This desert empire controlled 70% of medieval Africa's gold trade, generating wealth equivalent to $50 billion in today's currency. Think about that for a second. 40 tons of gold every single year. That's enough to rival the treasuries of kings and emperors from London to Constantinople. And yet, this wealth flowed through the hands of merchants, camel drivers, and scholars in a desert city most of the world has never heard of. But here's the first clue to our mystery. Geography is destiny. Morocco sits at the crossroads of Africa, Europe, and the Atlantic world. Only 14 kilometers, 9 miles, separate it from Spain across the Strait of Gibraltar. From the snowy peaks of the Atlas Mountains to the vast expanse of the Sahara Desert, the country is a land of extremes. The country spans 4 distinct climate zones: Mediterranean, Atlantic, continental, and Saharan, across 3 Atlas mountain ranges, the High, Middle, and Anti-Atlas. With a total area of about 447,000 square kilometers, or 172,400 square miles, Morocco is home to nearly 38 million people. If you include the disputed territory of Western Sahara, the size rises to about 711,000 square kilometers, or 274,000 square miles. This territory is claimed and largely administered by Morocco, but also sought by the Sahrawi Arab Democratic Republic, making it one of the world's most enduring territorial disputes. Its political capital is Rabat, while Casablanca, or as the locals call it, Darbeda, meaning White House, is the economic heart. But to solve this mystery, we need to understand the stage where it all unfolded, and that position has always been Morocco's greatest strength. Caravans crossed the Sahara, bringing salt, ivory, and slaves, and left with gold, spices, and silk. At the same time, ships from Europe and beyond eyed Morocco's ports as gateways to Africa. This constant flow of goods and ideas made the region a bridge, and sometimes a battlefield. The Amazigh weren't just desert nomads. They were sophisticated traders who knew every water source and mountain pass. When Phoenicians arrived at ports like Lixus and Mogador, they found partners, not subjects. The Amazigh controlled the land, the Phoenicians controlled the sea. Together, they created something extraordinary. This partnership set the stage for centuries of exchange. Greek and Roman merchants followed, drawn to Morocco's purple dye, metals, and agricultural riches. Even after empires rose and fell, the Amazigh identity endured, adapting but never disappearing. In 788, everything changed. Idris ibn Abdallah, an exiled descendant of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, founded a dynasty in Fez, which is known as Fas in Arabic. This wasn't just political change, it was an economic revolution. Islam connected Morocco to a vast trading network from Spain to Indonesia. And at the heart of this network sat Sidi El Massa, where faith and fortune merged. The Almoravids, Almohads, Marinids, and Saadians, these weren't just conquerors. They were business empires. Every golden dinar that paid a soldier flowed through Sidi El Massa's markets. The University of Al-Qarawiyyin in Fez, one of the oldest universities in the world, founded by Fatima al-Fihri in 859, was calculating Earth's circumference while Europe was in the Dark Ages. How? Gold from Sidi El Massa funded these scholars, but imagine the scale of this. While knights in Europe fought over castles, scholars in Fez were charting the heavens, refining mathematics, and preserving Greek philosophy. All of this intellectual light was fueled by the trade of a desert city. But legends tell a different story. Local folklore speaks of Aisha Kandisha, a spirit said to appear near places of great wealth and danger. Elders whisper she was seen more frequently around Sidi El Massa in its final decades, luring travelers away from the city. Coincidence? Maybe. But here's what we know for certain happened next. By the 1400s, three forces were converging to destroy Sidi El Massa. The Portuguese were sailing around Africa, bypassing Saharan routes entirely. Decades of drought were drying wells that had flowed for centuries. And most destructively, the Saadian dynasty was raising taxes so high that merchants couldn't afford to trade. This was more than economic collapse. It was ecological and political disaster rolled into one. Merchants left, caravans dwindled, the city emptied. By the time Europeans began their age of exploration, Sidi El Massa was already fading into legend. Fast forward to the 1920s, and we see this pattern again. In the Rif Mountains, Berber leader Sidi Mohammed ben Abdelkrim el-Khattabi organized unified resistance against Spanish and French forces. The same resilience that built Sidi El Massa was now fighting colonial powers. Towns like Bouarfa and Figuig, often called the desert's gateways, were places where the spirit of fierce independence never died, a final stand on the eastern frontiers. This tells us something important. Moroccans have always understood that survival means adapting, not submitting. This is a country of bridge builders, not wall builders. In fact, Morocco was the first country to recognize American independence in 1777. Today's Morocco carries Sidi El Massa's DNA. In Casablanca's bustling ports, where the Hassan II Mosque's 210-meter minaret, the tallest in the world, towers above the Atlantic waves, its vast prayer hall, holding 25,000 worshippers, stands near the docks, where modern container ships now unload, just as Phoenician traders once did centuries ago. Today's Morocco leads global phosphate production with 70% of world reserves, while the Noor Solar Complex near Ouarzazate is the world's largest concentrated solar power facility. Tourism brings 13 million visitors annually, generating $8 billion in revenue. The national flag, with its red field representing the Prophet's descendants and the green pentagram symbolizing the Seal of Solomon, reflects a sacred heritage. The Barbary lion, though extinct in the wild, remains the proud royal emblem, and the damask rose of the Dades Valley is the national flower. Here's what makes Morocco unique. It's a cultural time machine. In Fez, Artisans have been crafting intricate mosaics and leather goods for over 1,000 years. Jewish communities thrived in Mela quarters for over 1,000 years, contributing merchants, scholars, and artisans to Moroccan society. After 1492, Andalusian refugees brought architectural secrets that still echo in the Medinas. From the south came Gnawa music. These healing ceremonies blend Islamic Sufism with sub-Saharan African traditions, creating UNESCO-recognized cultural heritage. The local Arabic dialect Darija blends Arabic, Berber, French, and Spanish into a unique language. And since 2011, Tamazight has also been recognized as an official language, honoring Morocco's deep Ahmazir roots. With Islam as the spiritual foundation for 13 centuries, Morocco preserves 9 UNESCO World Heritage Sites, more than any other North African nation. And all of this shows one thing: Morocco is not just a country, it's a crossroads of civilizations. Every alley in Fez, every spice market in Marrakesh, every kasbah in the desert tells the story of worlds colliding and blending into something new. Moroccan cuisine is equally legendary. Couscous, tagines, and mint tea are more than meals. They're traditions that bring communities together. Festivals like the Fez Festival of World Sacred Music highlight the country's spiritual and cultural richness. So here's what that 2019 archaeological discovery really tells us. Sidi El Massa didn't just vanish, it was systematically dismantled. The workshops, the scales, the tools, they were abandoned in perfect order, suggesting the merchants knew exactly what was coming. This is the real secret. Sidi El Massa never truly died. It transformed. Its merchants moved to Fez, Marrakesh, and Casablanca. Its trade networks evolved into modern Morocco's diverse economy. Its cultural DNA lives on in every souk, every festival, and every cup of mint tea. Which brings us to the ultimate question: was Aisha Kandisha's presence around Sidi El Massa a warning or a witness? Local elders still say the city died from arrogance, forgetting it was built in the desert. But the desert always wins, they whisper. The desert always remembers. Today, old men in Rissani's market claim, you can still smell the gold if you know how to breathe. Maybe that's just folklore. Or maybe it's the scent of a civilization that learned the ultimate lesson. True wealth comes from connecting worlds, not conquering them. So here's my challenge to you. What really destroyed Sidi El Massa? The drought, Portuguese ships, greedy taxes? Or was it all three in a perfect storm that no city could survive? Drop your theory in the comments, and if you want to dive deeper into history, you can watch our video on Turkey, a land where a hidden city lies beneath a modern one, holding the secrets of a lost empire.